So my name is Pienaar. I grew up, born and raised in Southern Africa. I moved to the US, became a citizen. And these days I make people's dreams come true by building them exquisite saddles, but actually highly functional saddles that allows them to achieve their performance to the highest level. I break my saddles down into 5 categories when I build them. First is I build a tree that's going to allow the horse's back to just function for that horse to preserve its best posture and be in a power position when you ride him. Secondly, I want the rider to be balanced and their core muscle group engaged so they are in balance when they're in motion. That's going to give them the best sort of shot at not falling out of the saddle or staying strong. And thirdly, I built a quality saddle. Everything is thought out to where the stitches are recessed in the leather is pre-stretched, things are tight, thought out to create a saddle that's not gonna just fall apart after 2 years. Fourthly, I want to make it look good, so the proportions are in such a way that it aesthetically is pleasing, and then create artwork on it. And then my name is on it, so I want it to be a classic. So it's gonna have resale value. It looks good, but internally it's designed to achieve your goal of having a horse not getting sore, working to its potential, and then ride it while in balance. The way I design my ground seat, I don't want to build a couch. That's not what I'm doing. I'm building a seat that will support you while you're in motion. I can tilt the angle of the cantle in various ways depending on the rider. Male versus female, females, the pelvis wants to naturally easily roll forward because of the angle of the femur coming in. Also, the gluteus muscle sits up higher where it's attached to the bone. If the cantle is too steep, it's going to keep rolling you forward, which will make your low back trying to counterbalance the lordosis, but pretty soon your back will be sore. If the saddle is too wide up front, you're getting spread apart, but you got to have a nice pocket in the back for the pelvis to rest and find a neutral position, and then the femurs can slant in, so that's how I shape the seats. To be in balance doesn't take muscle, it's just there's a natural place to be in balance, and I learned that from riding bareback, not bareback broncs, but bareback just without a saddle in a unicycle. And that teaches you when your low back, especially your low back, is straight on women, that means your pelvis is sitting in a place where you can activate your core strength. And then automatically you will be balanced and stronger.
My name is Denise Stringfellow. I do light ranch riding. I like to do clinics, like to go up in the hills, ride around our ranch. We run just a few cattle, not very many, but just pretty much light work, but daily. I ride quite a bit. If you'd asked me 2 or 3 years ago if I needed a new saddle, I would have said no. I love my saddle. I bought a good quality saddle from a good maker, and it really was Joneman who kind of put the bug in my ear, just asking me questions over time about how I was riding and what he was seeing in my riding, that I thought, maybe I ought to investigate, what he has to say and what he's doing. And some of the things that he would bring up just as ideas, later on I would feel those things like my back hurting or my twisting, and I started to believe that he was really right. And he was pointing things out that I didn't know were going on with my saddle, the way it was fitting me. But now I realize that was what's going on, because with this saddle that he made, I don't have those issues going on. So I think one of the neatest things that I have experienced with this saddle, now that I've ridden it a bunch of times, is in previous saddles, and I should say all of my previous saddles, I mean, they're expensive saddles, they're good makers, they're quality saddles. So it wasn't a quality issue. I think it's an understanding of the human body and physics, whatever it is that it's in his head that he understands. I think it's different than other good quality makers, because I love this saddle. It just feels better and different than the good saddles I've had. But one of the things I've worked on as a rider is not tipping forward in the saddle. I broke my hip, so I'm a little bit uneven, and if I'm on a really forward horse, I'm sometimes not as confident on that kind of a horse, and if I lose confidence, I'll tip forward a little bit, and then that puts me way too far forward. It impedes my horse's motion. It's just not a good thing. And what I've found with this saddle is I'm seated more correctly, and I'm not tipping forward anymore. I'm more seated in the saddle. If the horse, a couple times my horse has spooked a little bit, and it's just been no big deal because I'm so square and nice in the saddle. I'm just around my horse the way I want to be, and I feel secure and comfortable. And I can tell my horses are more relaxed. I can tell I'm more relaxed. And I honestly think the saddle has just made my riding better, and it's given me more confidence in the saddle.
I'm Judy Beard, and I primarily show cutting horses. But I'm to the point now where I start my own colts and then get to ride them out on the ranch with my husband and sort, doctor, whatever we need to cow-wise. We run a bunch of yearlings, so obviously I get a lot of seat time there, but my favorite is showing my cutting horses. My Joneman saddle not only fits me the best, but my horses, and my horses are more important, I would argue, than myself. But they're not sore. I ride them hard almost every single day. They're not sore. They have no white spots. They haven't lost any hair, and they're not sore up in their shoulders, but also even back in their backs, which a lot of cutting horses will get sore closer to their hips. But more importantly too, my back doesn't get sore in this saddle. And if, I'm probably riding at least 5 hours per day, and I'm not sore. I have a great pocket. I'm not floating around on my horses. And it's been a real game changer for me. The difference was so instantly noticeable for not only this horse, but all of my other ones too, that I told my husband, I said, I can't rope in my other saddle anymore. I feel too guilty. It's not fair to my horse. And so within 2 weeks of me having my new cutting saddle, I jumped back on the list for a new roping saddle because I spend equally as many hours doctoring cattle or moving or whatever, roping as I do cutting, and I want my horses to feel free and safe, whatever we're doing.
I'm Levi Stolen. I work at Flying and Livestock, cowboy for a living, I guess. Joneman, I guess I had a horse getting sore during branding season. Started on one of his saddles, and the horse immediately was not sore. I mean, the next day kind of deal. Is unbelievable, crazy. His saddle's making big changes in all of my horses, not just the one.
Obviously I build saddles, but not only is my name on it, that's my sort of legacy. It's part of me. It's my essence. So, if somebody likes me, they're gonna like my saddles. If they don't like me, they probably won't like my saddles because it's so connected to me. It's a little piece of me that goes out. Hopefully that piece of me enriches somebody's life, like brings them joy because they get a reprieve from their daily work. They get to get on a good horse and just feel good riding it.